I wanted to talk about something that I saw in the news today, and that is that scientists have discovered four mysterious sarcophagi in Antarctica. You want to pull up that article? I thought this was hilarious that this story broke right after the Pentagon disinformation story we just talked about on Monday. It's like, all right, the Pentagon lies about a lot of stuff, but here's this very mysterious story about alien caskets in Antarctica.
And it's not like, so I feel like there might be like a mild misconception with like, oh, hey, they're releasing information now. Oh, we could totally trust them. No, they're still going to be hiding a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff that's really, really close to the chest, you're not going to find out about unless they absolutely somehow leak this information and then have to roll back on everything and say, okay, you know what? We're just going to come out with it now because we don't have any other choice.
Yeah. And the thing about Antarctica, though, is something is going on out there. Something for sure is going on out there. And there's been a lot of stories recently about it, but we'll get into some of those broader stories in a bit. But so this says Antarctica. This is the pyramid one. Can you actually bring up the sarcophagus one? Let me see.
Yeah.
Scientists found mysterious sarcophagi, and we'll get into the pyramid one in a bit. So an international team of scientists has made a remarkable discovery in Antarctica, one that raises more questions than answers. During a series of research expeditions on the icy continent, a group of researchers from the USA, Russia, China, and India uncovered four unusual black sarcophagi. These artifacts of unknown origin have sparked intrigue and speculation within the scientific community, prompting theories about their purpose and the meaning of the enigmatic signals they seem to contain. I love that all those countries are working together in Antarctica, which we'll get into that too. But according to Baku.ws, which sounds shady. I looked into this website. I don't know so much about it. It says they get like 1 million readers a day, and they don't produce too much fake news. But who is really rating that website? But anyway, the discovery, and I'm saying that because you can't find this anywhere else. I'm reading off MSN, but that's where they got the original story. The discovery of the black sarcophagi is unlike any other found in Antarctica. These objects were not just typical archaeological artifacts. They appeared to have an advanced design, one that did not fit with any known human history. Upon opening one of the sarcophagi, and I got to stop right there. Why they got to do that? I don't think we should have opened it. I think this is one of those things that maybe you don't open. It's like when they open up like a pharaoh's tomb. It's like a signal. It's like a harbinger, right? Like this to me is worse than when an oarfish floats to the surface. It's like just don't.
Well, like too, a lot of in ancient burial rites and things like that, because of grave robbers and all of that sorts. They actually had these like shaman or these magic men would put curses on these tombs as they were sealed, or on the sarcophagus as it was sealed. So that way, the first person to open this thing was supposed to be cursed for life or just doomed basically to die at some point.
So now all these countries are doomed.
Yeah.
And typically when bad things happen in the world, I say it's CERN's fault. It's a Large Hadron Collider. But now I'm going to say it's this sarcophagus in Antarctica. So upon opening it, the scientists encountered an even more puzzling find. Inside was a hot metallic cylinder etched with thin, mysterious lines. The object's temperature and peculiar markings only added to the air of mystery surrounding the sarcophagi. And as I read it, I do want to remind everyone about the Pentagon disinformation campaign. Just keep it in your minds, because I don't think there's any photos of anything from this expedition. But that might have to do with the Treaty of 1959 that we'll get into in a little bit. With the cylinder inside the sarcophagus seemingly capable of holding immense energy or power, the team of researchers made the decision to leave the sarcophagi undisturbed.
You think?
Yeah, like, okay, we got to just back away slowly.
They found
now.
the Tesseract, for crying out loud.
Right.
Like,
just back away slowly. They carefully returned the objects to their original location. I don't think that's good enough.
maybe no one's going to notice. They just put it right back.
Just don't think that's good enough. Citing safety concerns. Like they knew, literally, they knew. And an inability to fully comprehend the nature of the find. Yet, the unanswered questions surrounding the discovery continue to puzzle scientists worldwide. You wonder. So for those who are just now joining us, we are reading an article at MSN about 4 sarcophagi that were found in Antarctica. and that they opened one of them. But don't worry, they put everything back in its place, and everything's totally fine.
It's fine.
It's totally cool.
I'm fine. You're fine. We're fine.
We're totally fine. It's not like World War III might happen because Iran is going on right now. Like as I'm driving here, everyone on Twitter is like, "Uh-oh, Israel and Iran are going to war," and we're on high alert. So it has nothing to do with this open sarcophagus in Antarctica. So it goes on to say a potential extraterrestrial connection. Among the many theories surrounding the sarcophagi's origin and purpose, one in particular has gained attention. A Chinese researcher proposed a bold hypothesis that the sarcophagi may serve as devices designed to block signals from Earth. According to this theory, these mysterious objects could be functioning as a protective mechanism against potential invasion from beyond our planet. You don't say. I love that this guy, that's where he goes. Like what else? The thing about this article is like I would like a hyperlink to who that researcher is and what other things he said, just to get an idea of where he's coming from. I'll continue. While this theory may sound outlandish to some, not to me really, but it also could be totally fake, it speaks to the growing interest in the possibility of extraterrestrial life. The idea that ancient or advanced civilizations could have hidden such technology in remote locations like Antarctica suggests that we may not be as alone in the universe as previously thought. The notion that the sarcophagi may protect the Earth from outside threats offers a chilling glimpse into what lies beyond our understanding of space and time. I'll just read a little more about the theories and questions yet to be answered. The discovery of these artifacts has raised more questions than answers, many of which remain unresolved. What is the true purpose of these sarcophagi? Are they messages left by an ancient civilization, or are they something far more advanced, perhaps even extraterrestrials? I'll just leave it there for now. The ancient civilization theory does make a little more sense to me than aliens, honestly. I believe Antarctica was a lush landscape quite some time ago, and something happened to turn it into the icy desert it is today. And if you want to go to that pyramids article, that could kind of tie into the possibility of an ancient civilization going there. But I just think, look, Antarctica is huge. It's twice the size of Australia, I believe, and 1.5 times bigger than America. And you're allowed to go there, but like not really. You have to have a guided tour. You have to have permission from your government first to go there. Your government also has to be a part of the 1959 Arctic Treaty, which we'll get into in a minute, to go. And when you do get there, because I think they do get like 40,000 tourists a year, outside of all of the science that's been going on there for decades now. But those people who go there for the guided, it's a very specific guided tour. You're not allowed to like deviate from it. So, I don't know. That sounds odd to me. So the Antarctica Pyramid, the strangely symmetrical mountain that sparked. Am I reading the same one? I can just read this one.
I could jump over it. Well, this is.
Was that still?
This is still the same.
Okay,
one.
yeah.
Go to the
I'll start.
one?
Yeah, I'll start reading the pyramid one.
Yeah, it's up.
So this was from, I think earlier this year. This is from January 10th, 2025. So Antarctica is really back in the news. Shout out to Antarctica. And this headline says, Antarctica Pyramid, the strangely symmetrical mountain that sparked a major alien conspiracy theory. And we're looking at livescience.com. A mountain that's hidden in a sea of snow in Antarctica looks strikingly like an ancient Egyptian pyramid when viewed from above. But no human or alien, it has in parentheses, hands were needed to build this peak. It was forged through the slow grinding process of erosion. So totally normal pyramid, they're saying, out there in the icy desert. The pyramidal mountain, which doesn't have a formal name, became internet famous in 2016, but scientists likely knew about it before then. Maury Pelto, a professor of environmental science of Nicholas College in Dudley, Massachusetts, previously told Live Science. A research base for climate scientists sits just south of the mountain in an area called the Patriot Hills, and you can probably see this mountain from up there, Pelto said. Antarctica's pyramid is about 4,150 feet tall, or about 1/5 the height of Denali, the tallest mountain in North America. It has 4 steep sides and is located in the southern Ellsworth Mountains, a chain of jagged peaks first spotted during a flight by American aviator Lincoln Ellsworth in 1935, according to a U.S. Geological Survey. So they're saying that this is not man-made, and it's just a natural occurrence. And that very well might be. It kind of reminds me of the debate about the obelisk. I think I forget which moon it is. Maybe one of Jupiter's moons, but there's satellite images of an obelisk on one of those moons up there. And there's been debate about that, whether it was man-made, alien-made, or natural formation. I've heard Alex Jones say he thinks it's man-made. There's an old interview actually on InfoWars of Buzz Aldrin telling Alex about the obelisk. And it does sound odd. It does sound odd. I will say that. But this article that we just looked at references a 1935 flight that discovered it for the first time. But that reminds me of 1938, just 3 years later. What was happening in Antarctica? As far as we know, the Nazis went there. And the real story, the official story, is that they went there to set up a base for whaling, because I believe it was, and this is the official story now, so take it with a grain of salt. They wanted to get more whaling, a whaling base to get the whaling, like oil for margarine, for butter. I believe because they were worried about not getting those imports once the war kicked off. So the theory is they did a little more than that. I think they were there setting up bases because they found something. I think there's something going on in Antarctica that we just don't know. Considering how big it is, and all the bases that are now there. So 1938 they went there. They spent some time there. Official story says they just went back. I think they set up shop there. There was something called Base 211. The official story says that was just a temporary thing, and they left and didn't go back. But the war happens, and then, like we've talked about previously on the show, in 1945, after the war, our government hired a lot of the Nazis, a lot of scientists from Germany in Operation Paperclip. So that was 1945, although that went on till about 1959, most of them happening in the few years after World War II. But then 1946, Operation High Jump happened. You know about Operation High Jump? Have you heard of this? That's when our Navy, and this is legit. There's theories as to what happened there, but this part is legit. Like, we know at least this much. Admiral Byrd went to Antarctica in 1946, allegedly for a science expedition to map out Antarctica and set up a temporary base there. The temporary base was called Little America 4. And it was supposed to be there for like 8 months to just map it out. But he went there with almost 5,000 troops. Like, they were heavily armed. There were ships, planes, troops. It's almost like they were there for something else. And the theories say that perhaps they found Nazis and they were there to attack Nazis. Now, there's no confirmation of that. If you've heard this story, you might have heard that Admiral Byrd left behind a diary, because no one really talked about what happened, because they were supposed to be there for 8 months and they left early. The official story says they left early because the weather was brutal. Okay, that's possible. It is a crazy icy desert. Or, as the theories suggest, they got into a battle with Nazis or aliens. There's no evidence. People do point to that diary of Byrd's, but that's pretty much been debunked, I think. You could also say, well, they put it out there just to throw off the scent of whatever else was going on there. But they were there for 8 months doing a lot. I think 3 or 4 people died. Harsh conditions is the story for that. So that happens in 46, high jump, Byrd, and then about, in 1959, everyone in the world, all the governments were like, you know what, this is a place we hate each other. There's, the Cold War is about to go down. All this, the fears of atomic war is in the air. But everyone did band together and said, we will just not war on Antarctica because it's a science base. And we're just going to hang out here together as friends. Elsewhere in the world, we'll fight and do all the crazy things, but we're just going to hang out here. So that was the Arctic Treaty of 1959 for science purposes. It went into effect in 61. And now there's just a ton of scientists from all over the world, like we just read earlier, doing who knows what. I personally think there is something beneath that place. I think there's a lot of answers there to a lot of things that's going on. If you found that video, that short video, just to show people what it looks like to the camera going down the hole in Antarctica, This video to me looks like space travel. I just find it fascinating, thinking about how much they've been digging and boring into Antarctica, and God only knows what they found in this place. There's theories of like an oasis out there, of lakes, but no, the tourists aren't allowed to see this stuff. They're definitely not allowed to go around the science area, the science labs that all these countries have set up. But let's pull that up. Let's check it out. So for those listening, you're missing out on a crazy video of a camera going down 93 meters into the ice shelf. This also might be what it looks like to be born.
I'm also assuming this is what they see when they do your like annual endoscopy.
Yeah. Dude.
Is this time lapse?
I don't know. I should say. I wish it said. I don't know.
Acceleration sound is
Yeah.
making me think this is entirely time lapsed.
It could be. Imagine if there's just a little alien at the bottom.
All right.
Love that video.
I mean, it looked like it went down all the way to the bottom, and then lo and behold, there was more ice there.
It's just more Antarctica.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it. I can only imagine what they found there.